Hi, my name is Zimmerman. A lot of my friends, they call me Zim because there's another Kathleen on my ice hockey team. So, by the way, I do play ice hockey here for New England College. I have not spent all 4 years here. I've spent 3. My first year was at Daniel Webster, and transferring was honestly a blessing in disguise. The hockey team was a lot better, the schooling was a lot better. I made so many more connections here. Now, to get back to the point, I recently was asked what skills and knowledge I had learned at NEC and which ones from those I applied to my capstone project/experience. And I kind of have 3 that I primarily stick to, and they have to do with morals and business-wise because I believe those are 2 huge things in the business major. And one of those is what a lot of people don't understand about business and how it works is they try to make it revolve around something different when they don't understand. They try to make it the way that they feel best describes them. All right, skills and knowledge that I put toward my capstone experience, I would have to say one thing I learned from New England College, not really from the educational side, but from hockey, I learned how to better organize myself because I do shoot photography for athletics here, the student entertainment committee. Like I said, I play hockey. I know how I had to organize myself to where nothing mismatched with my classes. Coach, we had video sessions, we had meetings, we had to come prepared with a binder, and I just learned how to better plan and organize myself with hockey. And also I learned how to speak up for myself, how to be a leader, which I actually had to use not only in the capstone project because I had to know how to speak up when I didn't fully think that this idea was going to work with my team, but I also had to use it for my interview. I have a big girl job in Keene now with Barton Associates, and I'm coming out of college with it. My 2 interviews I did with them, I had to speak up with what I kind of was more what I knew mostly about, and he asked me what my strength was, and I said my strength would be I'm very, very confident when I talk about stuff that I know a lot about, whereas, who wouldn't? And I also said that was one of my weaknesses is because I don't know a lot about things outside of what I'm focused on, like photography, hockey, business. I'm really good with numbers, so numbers are my forte. And he agreed with me. So I learned how to be a leader. I learned how to speak out through that. But the classroom side, what I did learn was, and I believe I mentioned this earlier, I might not have, but morals. One thing I learned here from the professors here is morals is a huge part of business. And me personally, I think that in a business, if you don't have the correct morals, your business would therefore be corrupt, or it would then down spiral and you would end up going bankrupt. But with morals being set in stone, you have to go by those rules. You have to live by it, you have to breathe by it, you have to do it. And if somebody ends up breaking it and then you just kind of let them go by it, then they'll just always do it again and again and again and again, and then people will learn from it. It's almost like, so I just recently got a puppy, and my other dog, he sees the puppy mess up a lot and gets disciplined, but he sees what the puppy gets away with and he goes and does it. And it's kind of the same concept. Other people see it happening, they think they can go do it. To get back to it, another thing I learned was from Professor Joe DeLuca was a bunch of financial responsibilities, and I know that you can't do things the night before. Doing things the night before will only lessen your work, whereas if you started a few days before, even, just did it for an hour or 2 a day before something was due, it would give you the time to it would give you the time to take a second and look back at it. And one life lesson I've learned from that, I guess, which would better explain it, was right now when something's bothering me or I need to make a decision, I wait either 12 to 24 hours depending on the subject, and I think about it differently. Because me personally, when something first happens and I don't like it or I'm upset about it, I freak out a little bit. But what I learned from his class was that you have to take a second, which is, again, why you can't do it the night before. But I learned to wait. My initial response isn't always the best. I learned to wait and then think it through, let things settle, kind of let my emotions relax, and my brain like just kind of shut off for a little bit, and then come back to it. And generally when I do that, my work's a lot better. It's usually A+ work, if not A-. But it's another thing I learned. That being said, coming back to certain situations within time, I put that with my group because there's a few times where we didn't all agree on certain situations or what picture to put on the poster or what we're trying to draw the audience to make the conclusion to. But so we've met every day, the Tuesday and Thursday, and we would only meet for an hour. And once we reached the hour mark, we would set a timer. And once we reached that, we would stop, because that's when generally we get too far into it. People would too overthink it, and we wouldn't put in our best work. So we have spaced it out, again, with the time management, the being able to talk to people, being social, the being able to problem solve. Like, there's so many skills that have been involved and knowledge that I've learned from NEC, hockey, my friends, Barton, who I've seen twice, which is the big girl job I have after, and all the professors here. Even at Daniel Webster, there's a few there that transferred here with me right around the same time, so we kind of stuck together, and they were able to help me with my transition, which I believe made me into the person I am today. And through that, I would say my college career has left me with a tremendous abundance amount of lessons, skills, little tidbits of information, facts, and a tremendous amount of more that I haven't named throughout this video. But I want to say I was fortunate enough to learn this firsthand from my time that was spent here, and I don't think I would have had it any other way. Like I mentioned before, I believe this was a blessing in disguise, and I'm going to stick by it.